Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
I'm like commenting it.
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. I feel like this podcast feeling as though, we now going into pre-season, and I know them friendly games and the team in training camp, because it's been so long since we've been on here earlier. It's real rough. And I know for some, they would welcome the break from Manchester United and the frustrations, And I mean, I'm saying that, also knowing fully well that we haven't really been frustrating so much in recent times since Carrick took over. But, fellas, I kid you not, 24 days since our last game. 24 days. And we were lucky to only be down 2-0 at halftime against Leeds. And especially when the weekend went so good where, we could be laughing and pointing fingers at rivals and, enjoying it, And you just have your your fingers and your toes, crossed, hoping that we, could continue, the shameless work. Only to sit down here and had to, stomach what we saw today. A huge chance blown for us to secure third place. We could have been 3 points ahead of Villa, 6 points ahead of Liverpool, 10 points ahead of Chelsea, having to play them next week. But instead, I think we have allowed ourselves to be dragged back into a Champions League dogfight. And I think that I don't think that's what we want. That's what we needed because we squad so thin. Kobe missed out today, and we felt it. I mean, I don't want to overkill her, but we know how Leeds just play. Only we had 24 days to prepare for this, and this is what we had to offer. What Carrick and them fellas was doing them last few weeks earlier, and for me, the nail in the coffin is the last time Leeds win at Old Trafford was in 1981. It's 45 years ago earlier. What we doing? No man, no. It's a plenty more that we could discuss and get into, and we will do that now, right? But before we get into actual game talk, fellas, it's been a while. How we doing? I know we communicate, but how we doing, fellas? Phil, Nico, Simeon, how we going, fellas?
I was doing real good until today. I mean, today was definitely a rough one. I have another United partners, liaising with today before the game, and we talk about the game, and we say, yeah, easy win, man, easy win, right? So we can pace Leeds all over the floor. Right? I shame to message him after. Well, he shamed to message me. Right? rough. So,
but Nico, you and your partner, all you had to know better, man. All should know better. All watching football long enough, man.
No, he said that. No, he said that, but I just stay quiet. When he's saying that, I just stay quiet because I know. Yeah, that's it. I know. I just stay quiet. Right?
All right.
Do you think I didn't do his message and say, you see why I didn't say nothing? Right? I just stay quiet. Yeah.
Hey. Phil, what are you saying, buddy?
Boy, Mondays. Monday. The only time Mondays go good for me is when Manchester United playing in the evening, and by that I mean nobody looks forward to Mondays. But I kid you not, every single Monday that Manchester United has played on, my day from 8 in the morning to 259. Does be splendorous, amazing, brilliant, all smiles. And the same people that see me smiling between the hours of 8 and 2:59, when the clock strike 3:30, 4 o'clock, and they're coming back to me, they say, Phil, why you look so down? Something wrong? Boy, I swear, boy. 3 weeks. And they're getting all the joy from rivals being knocked out of cups and this and that. And lo and behold, Monday evening, they just spoil it, boy. Boy, I don't know how to feel. I got some words for some of these players here. Because some of these players need to either be sold or they can't be they can't be part of our starting 11 come next season in the Champions League. They can't. But I don't know, man. These guys today played like they were playing for Ruben Amorim or Ten Hag. Please note that Leeds start with a back three and wiped the floor with us at home. Back three, same thing that Ruben Amorim tried to instill, didn't work out. And Leeds made us look like the visiting team today. Anyway, I'm numb.
Yeah. Simeon, you feel the same way like Phil? You're numb?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I have to echo that, but I think, Phil made a great point. I mean, with that back three, I even think about it. The things that Leeds did, do, then for us to recognize that. I mean, and I know we do like, Amarim is a sore point, but them get the ball wide and they cross the ball into the box and they cause us all kind of trouble. We didn't know that was coming. And the thing that Phil say like all day, like I worked late today, I planned my day out, trying to get most of the hard work done early. That way I could watch, normally I don't have my phone, I have the app, I work, doing some small work and I watch the game. And this time I could actually watch the game. And the fact that not even 2-3 minutes in, I had to send Carrie a message. Just say, "Then fellas, what are fellas doing?" Because it was clear right away that them fellas was on shit. Right away, it was clear. I have to wait for 5 minutes. It was clear them fellas wasn't ready for this game. And I was, we wait how long for to see the team play, and they come out like that. I mean, yeah, I was doing good. I was laughing, laughing he, at Arsenal and Tottenham and it was saying all people all kind of talk and stuff. And now it's just like you realize, hey, but this is the team. Look at my team here. And right away you just start, I start checking the table. I like how far is sixth place, because the level is not even, it's just it's the complete opposite of what you saw against the City Arsenal. It's just the complete opposite, and it's just it was a dagger to anybody who thought was doing something. So
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault any, section of the fan base that's upset because we've been made to wait so long by our own fault. We get knocked out of the first round of the FA Cup. We get knocked out of the first round of the Carabao Cup. You understand? We allowed Spurs who going to get relegated to win the Europa League. And then the Portuguese guy who Phil was talking about, tell me that's a blessing in disguise. Right? Perhaps he knew he was talking about because we might have been relegated, But the point is, you can't fault any Man United fan for feeling frustrated or hard done by what we saw today, especially after having to wait so long to watch the team play. You know? I mean, we had to sit down and watch other teams play football. We had to talk about other teams. We had to talk about Champions League, and we had to do all kind of things. We had to find all kind of things to do. And then when we do get the opportunity to watch Manchester United play football, them fellas wasn't up for it. Or at least that's how they started the game. You know? Nico, and I'll start with Nico with this one. How much of a setback is this result when you consider everything?
I guess because of the results of some of the other teams, who chasing the Champions League positions, which is what we're doing. I don't think it's much of a setback in terms of the table. I think psychologically, I think that maybe would have been the bigger setback. Even in terms of Carrick, I think based on this result and based on the upcoming results, we would know if Carrick fit enough for the job, because we don't want to say, hey, this Carrick job, and then we realize that he can't handle it 10 games down the road. So to me, sometimes a setback like this is not affecting us on the table much, but in terms of seeing the stock of Carrick going forward, because now, if we're saying he's the man to take us forward, then he has to be able to bounce back from this. And he has to be able to win the next game, or even put in a good performance and a result. Because I think we're playing Chelsea next. And we know the form Chelsea is in right now. So if Carrick is to lead us into the next season, then we're supposed to be beating Chelsea. Because the form Chelsea in is right now atrocious. Chelsea is out of their depth. And if it is that we serious, or the management of Manchester United serious, then this for me could be a blessing in disguise, even for the fans. Because if we can bounce back from now, then we know Carrick is not the man. So the table didn't affect us much, but psychologically and for future proofing, I think this result could have been a blessing in disguise.
You go back with this blessing in disguise talk. Yeah, learn. Phil, what are you saying? I mean, Nico makes some good points there. But I don't know if you have any different, spin or viewpoint on that. How much of a setback this result is for us.
I won't say it's a setback in terms of the table, but like in terms of like psychologically, it could affect us in the next few games. But there's the sign between a good team and an average team and a great team is how they respond to adversity, right? So was this just a bad day at the office, or is it a bad week in the office? A week is 7 days, but a week can also be 7 games as well as one in the next 7 weeks, right? So we got how many games we got left? 6, 7? Right. So I still think we're gonna make Champions League. Don't get me wrong, right? But I'd rather we finish behind the so-called title chasers in 3rd position, and than to let a very scruffy Liverpool team come and overtake us. Don't get me wrong, the emotions were running high. The emotions aren't running high as now on this podcast, but I'm sure the emotions will cool down come tomorrow. But today was a bunch of idiot thing that's how today was. Criminals. I kid you not. When this season is over, they got a bunch of players that need to take 3 weeks of vacation, like they are a government worker. 3 weeks and hit the gym after that 3 weeks. Hit the gym. You gotta do that because you gotta get mentally and physically stronger. Because some of these guys too weak and feeble in the mindset and in the body. But I digress. I think that we'll get a result versus Chelsea, and I won't say everything will be back to normal, but it's more like every single game going forward must be our so-called final, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah, and you make a good point there. And before I come to Simeon, I think if we have any standards, our season has been, we're trying to recover the season because we were going downhill. And I think if we have any pride within ourselves, we, even though top 5 guaranteeing Champions League, the least this team or the fans is to finish as high as possible, as opposed to just qualifying for Europe or Champions League. You understand? Because we could finish 4th and qualify for Champions League, we could finish 5th and qualify for Champions League. Right? But I think the team owes this fan base, based on how this season went and what we had to endure. Right? This team owes the fan base the best possible finish. You understand? And when I say that, yes, Champions League qualification is important. That is what we after. That is the goal that was set. But it shouldn't be that last day of the season, we still are sure how we doing this thing. And we worried whether we're going to make Champions League or Europa League, and we watching this next game, hoping that this team drop points and all that kind of thing. After the kind of season we have endured as a fan base, Manchester United and the players owe us the best possible finish. So this is why I am saying that this result, when we could have taken, a lead, and all we needed, I think all we need is 3 more wins to guarantee Champions League qualification. And yes, Nico, Chelsea not going through a good period, but for me, by that, when they play Man United, that is the out the door. When any team play Man United, that is just go out the door, right? And it's be level pegging, because Burnley get points off we, Wolves get points off we. You understand? And that's before they pick up the little run now, where they beat Liverpool and whoever. So for me, I think, and sorry to jump on this, Simeon, but I think that this has been a setback, right? In terms of giving us that little breathing space, because as I said before, one, we lost Maguire. I tell you, we missed Maguire today. Nobody can handle Calvert-Lewin, right? And we don't know. I think Maguire out for 3 games because he got straight red.
I'm not sure how long he out for. You sure he out for so long? 3 games or 1 game?
But I don't know, because in listening to the press conference, I don't think the same thing about him being back. I hear Carrick say he go try to Martinez. But what I'm saying is, we miss Maguire today and we miss Kobe today. So we can't afford, and we go get to the agendas of VAR and the referee and PGML and all kind of thing a little bit later in the pod. But the point is, I can't see us saying we have room for slip-ups. Because we miss Kobe today, we miss Maguire today, and that affect the way we play. It affects everything. And we drop points. We lost the game. And we cannot rely on the referees to give us a good, fair game, because watch Bournemouth and then watch today. Again, we will get to that. So that is my thing, guys. I think it was a big setback, in terms of giving us some form of comfortability trying to go forward. Right? Now, I see Simeon jump out, so when he come back, we will always go to that. We'll just get some comments real quick, and we'll move on, guys.
But it's 1 game, They say 1 game Maguire was out for, which would have been today.
Okay, so he should be back for Chelsea.
He should be back, yeah.
All right. So Darren on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying we look toothless in that first half, and then we play a little better with 10 men. I find we still don't cross the ball enough for Sesko. Other teams crossing the ball and scoring on us too. I think defensively, we didn't show much organization today, and that's why Leeds was getting so much joy in them crosses. You had an unmute, Nico.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we are second in terms of physicality defending. Yeah. I think that's what cost us today. The physical part of the defending.
All right, Jody on the inside. Blessed night to you, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying the higher the position, the bigger the cash pot. That too, and we need money, right? Darren also saying here, only positive is this helps Leeds with the relegation battle because I want Spurs to sing for that for that Europa win. They get over us. But whether Leeds and win or lose today, that's nothing to do with Spurs, boy. Spurs going
This is
down.
the only mice right now.
The own demise. So, guys, before we get into the we general thoughts on the game and stuff like that, team sheets, etc., I really want to deal with the elephant in the room, and I don't know if we could blame the result on it. You all decide when you're doing your analysis, right? But the officiating that we've been experiencing, from the referees on the field, and then on VAR, who's supposed to be, an added bonus to help, minimize and limit the errors. We still finding ourselves at the bitter end of the stick. So I have 2 clips I want to play, right? And I want your thoughts on these because these are game-changing moments and decisions, and these things affect us all here. Now, whether I'll choose to say yes or no, we're going to discuss it, right? But the one we're watching here, this is the first play. Calvert-Lewin did not make any contact with our ball, but he led with his elbow and he take out Euro, and that led to the first Leeds goal. VAR did not go back and review it, and the goal stood. This, Martinez was sent off. Right, for this, Martinez was sent off, right, for holding Calvert-Lewin here. But nobody's seeing what Calvert-Lewin was doing before, where Martinez's eyes are, as a normal jostle. But play went on for about how long? Feel about 40, 50 seconds? And VAR stopped the game and send the referee to the monitor. Right? Thoughts, guys?
The Euro one, by the moment I saw it, I saw it was a foul. That had to be a foul, and it goes back again to the Bournemouth game when Ahmad was fouled. A goal scored directly, and the referee, I don't know if it's pressured or what, to call back or to stop the game or to take away the goal. And it's 2 games in a row it worked against United. Because the last game, clearly, we said it was a foul on Ahmad. A goal score, the referee didn't call it back. And again today, to me, that's a clear foul. Yes, we could say Euro could have been more physical against Calvert-Lewin, but a player leading with their hand across a player's face like that, to me, that's a clear foul. How the referee could not see that and call that back? Why? Because a goal score? So that call on Euro was definitely atrocious again, and in this day and age with VAR, that's clear. How the referee not seen? How VAR not seen that? Right? The one with Martinez, I think is one where there's a bit of victimization on Martinez, right? Because they know Martinez is a physical player. And they want to set an example on Martinez. Because you see clearly, it was a battle, you see clearly where that was Calvert-Lewin again. Hand was in Martinez's face. And knowing the player that Martinez is, he's not going to take no bully from nobody. So you put your hand in the man, all in the man's throat. Right? And he shouldn't protect himself or defend himself against that. So at least the 2 calls again, even especially the second call, if you had to stop the game, stop the game and call the captains and have a conversation with the players, with the captains about playing like that. But to send one man off in a situation like that, again, poor poor refereeing on my behalf, poor unbiased, and a bit of victimization as well against Martinez and Manchester United.
Yeah. Well said. So before guys come in and follow on with Nico, I just want to get some comments because we always ask for a manager to call out the situation. And I mean, since Carrick has been here, Carrick holding back. Carrick not mincing his words. And I mean, he trying to be as respectful as possible without saying too much to get fine or ban or whatever the case may be, calling them out. But Bruno was questioned on the decisions, and this is what Bruno had to say. Bruno said, the rules are different for everyone, right? Applied different for everyone. The difference in the yellow cards, you can also see it. Because a lot of yellow cards were shown today, right? Because Bruno got fouled and nothing happened, and I think that's what the second goal followed after that. But we saw where we were getting yellow cards and fouls were being called for those as well. He said you can also see it. It's better that I don't say anything, right? And then Carrick went on to say, well, this is on the decision against Martinez, right? That decision was one of the worst I've ever seen. He can throw his arm in Licha's face and then he's sent off. It's shocking, right? Go through, fellas.
Simon, you can go, man.
No, I mean, I think the one with Euro, I think as soon as I saw it, I thought it would have been called back for a foul. I think it was clear that there was contact there. I think it was clear he's leading by his elbow. I think the fact that Euro didn't make a big deal about it, sure, is part of the reason why the goal stood. I think a more experienced defender would have been bam, 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 see a goal score, he would have laid down and roll around and try and get a call in that instance. I really think that was really a foul, should be called foul. I mean, I thought.
Sorry to cut here, but my thing about that, right, is this. It don't work so for other clubs because who make the big scene that cause VAR to even, or the referee draw the referee attention to that issue with Calvert-Lewin and Licha. It had no Calvert-Lewin wasn't rolling around the place or doing nothing to create nothing, but yet VAR went back and watch it. So
yeah. I mean, it can't just. I mean, and that what get me is like when the announcers say they were going back to check something, and they say Licha may have pulled the man here. You expected he pull the man here down, and the man will be on the ground and stuff. But when you see the how soft or how not, and for it to be VAR, I mean, full football game going on to stop and go back and look. Something ain't right about that decision. I mean, and the referee by himself go back. Like, how many times did he watch that? I mean, I feel like ain't no way that should be. I mean, you see worse fouls, all the time in any scrum. I mean, I thought it would have been, you take the man here and you pull him to the ground. It's barely a tug, really, barely a tug.
Yeah,
and for it to be a straight red card. Yeah.
To me, if it is that the player was running off and you pull him back by his hair, I can understand that. But in a tussle, come on, man. Go ahead, Simeon. Sorry.
No. I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's in no way that's a red. I don't even see how he ever be a red. I mean, a yellow card in a normal. I mean, it might be a yellow card. I doubt it. I don't think it rises to that level, really. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm so surprised VAR stopped the game to go back and look at that. I really am surprised. Something ain't right. Something ain't right there. And yeah, Euro. he had a rough day, but that first goal, he should have been in a better position, but that leading forearm should have ruled the goal out.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I pull up this comment is because sometimes when you know something not like downright blatant, bet your money, bet your house on it. There's always say, well, I don't make the rules. That kind of
Yeah.
approach. You just know when somebody not convinced about something. So he's saying, I don't make the rules. I
Yeah.
told the referee my hair was pulled. So you telling me that I could just go and tell the referee and a game going to stop and a man going to get sent off. Absolute nonsense. Phil?
I don't know if you guys remember the game. It was Bournemouth before the international break where Harry Maguire got sent off. And there was an incident before Harry Maguire got sent off where Ahmad got fouled blatantly in the box. It was a blatant foul, and then on the counter attack, Harry Maguire gets sent off for a red card, and it was a penalty, right? Yeah. So from the time I see that, I say there's two things the referees want. The referees going to make sure that Arsenal win this Premier League and make sure Manchester United struggle to make Champions League. We ain't got no more to Alex Ferguson, right? I also tell myself that I don't want any of our players to put themselves in a position where the referee has to think twice. Let's put it that way, right? So Harry Maguire's hand across the guy's chest in the Bournemouth game, that made the referee think twice. Lisandro Martinez did pull the guy's hair, and that made the referee think twice, right? Are there inconsistencies with VAR and the referees? We know this here, right? It only happens in the EPL. I don't hear about it in the Champions League. I don't hear about it in the World Cup. I don't hear about it in Europa League or Euros or whatever, right? It only happens in the EPL for some inexplicable reason.
And AFCON.
And AFCON as well too. Yeah, that was a different podcast for a different time, boy. So yeah, I kind of should have expected better. I expect better from Lisandro Martinez, right? Lisandro Martinez. Well, in my opinion, Lisandro Martinez should have been playing midfield in the first place, not even a centre back, right? But some people may argue that there's no leadership in the back four. That's where Lisandro Martinez had to play there, right? Which is fair enough, right?
But to your point, it looked like it had much today. So I mean,
that back four is an absolute disgrace and disgusting today. Absolute disgrace. Mazraoui look out of it. Shaw just leave the club. Leniero, schoolboy. Absolute schoolboy today. My gosh. Ugarte, Newcastle or Galatasaray. Don't even talk about. I don't want to talk about Newcastle or Galatasaray. That is where you'll be.
Newcastle is that now?
Well, I see Newcastle interested. So.
All right.
Newcastle, Galatasaray.
What are you on that 23 team or?
I don't care. Once he's not at the club anymore, I don't care, right? A lot of people calling for Benjamin Sesko to start. Now you see the reason why he doesn't start that often. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like the refereeing decision today, it shouldn't come as a surprise, but it's still a surprise to some because it's the hope that kills you. Where you would hope that the refereeing would get better in the EPL, and lo and behold, it doesn't, right? And I've always stated for the last couple of years, the same way managers and players have to give post-match reviews, the referees and the officials should do the exact same thing. Explain to us why you give this person a yellow card, or explain to this person why you didn't. Red card.
Phil, I don't even know if that go make because they stand on the decision. Because look, even after the Bournemouth decision, they came out after and they backed the decision. So I
because they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, so I don't even know if referees having interviews after gonna change anything. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. And
I ain't
don't
gonna lie.
think
Because
a
referees can get away with this sort of thing in
yeah,
England. But you see if this was like River Plate versus Boca or Celtic versus Rangers back in the day,
that's a different kind of justice. You talk about rogue
two
justice. Man
teams
can't get
in
bogged down.
Guatemala or Colombia playing together, and you as a referee make a stupid decision. Guarantee you will have to walk. You ever gotta walk home? Your home will be burned down by the time
Yeah, that's
you
different.
finish the match.
But I was watching was when Barca play Atletico in the Champions League, right? I find the referee had a solid game. I find he had a good game in comparison to what we have seen in the EPL. And at the end of the game, the coaches from Barcelona they live it with the referee, and I'm like, what? This man had a good game. So, and then when you come and you watch
This year, man.
EPL games, it's like, what is he complaining about in the Champions League? Eh? Imagine if these referees in the Champions League gotta go on with them. Nah, boy, I find the referee in EPL real poor, boy. Them is the referee on emotions.
Yeah, boy.
I tell them fellas be refereeing on emotions, and then as Phil's saying that we shouldn't give the referee a chance to think twice. But to me, football is so dynamic. It's so physical. I don't think even that's possible. Because when you take that away, you know, that instinct away from players, now there's like a split second to lose, you know. They lose a split second in what they're going to do. And what they're going to do is give the opposition the upper hand. You know, so it's a real difficult place for a player to be in.
And why watching to right with the Martinez thing? Martinez smaller than Calvert, so he will have to do extra to compensate.
Yeah, he's defending himself. He's defending himself.
You're not taking these things into consideration. I mean, and you said right, the referees leading with emotion, and I honestly think it was sung a kind of way, but I really feel plenty of these referees grew up hating Man United. You know, whether it's through the parents or family or whatever, and them just have it out for Man United. Now, they can't come out and say it. They can't come and wear a jersey saying, I hate Manchester United. But it is, look at the things that it is do. And it clears day. Because it has no way, these decisions, and Phil, you touch on it. You're not seeing where they're trying to do better because they're doing the same nonsense over and over, back to back.
I think to Azreem, these same referees growing up, they would have dreamed about refereeing a game at Old Trafford. And again, when they're in the position now, the emotions again is getting the better of them making the right decision. And I think that's what it is. I think they you know, it has some referees that are the same. I went to the extreme here, Colina, right? Colina in his time, he not intimidated in no ground. On no ground he is intimidated. When he's on that pitch, he is in charge of the game. He's in charge of the referees. He's in charge of that, managing the entire event. But these referees, the event is managing them because they are refereeing on emotion, right? And not, you know, like a top principal in our school. When his principal comes and school everybody straight, right? That's how cool them used to manage. But no, these referees like a principal when they come in class, everybody still making noise. So they had to shout and had to get on bad, had to beat up the deaf for trying to listen. Right? And that's what it is now.
Yeah. Jody saying here, the men in the VAR room as Leeds supporters. I will beg to differ. I will just say there's Man United haters. All right, because them a dime a dozen. All right. So, but guys, how much, you know, just moving on, how much all I think, because I mean, we didn't start the game good, right? We're not gonna try to brush over that, right? We identified the fact that we didn't have a good first half, and we were lucky at halftime. We were lucky to go in at only 2-0, right? We had some giveaways at the top of the box. You know, Martinez had to put his body on the line to save us from going on 3-0. Ugarte put his body on the line. it was too much chaos in that first half, and like we was on 6-on-6s and 7s. We didn't know, we didn't know what to do. We couldn't even build the ball from the back, right? But football is most times a game of two halves. So you go in halftime, you get a little refresh, and you come back out with a different understanding, a different perspective. Do you all think that those calls affected the team as much as we saw that caused the loss? The referee calls, that is.
Nah. When I tell you that Leeds were all over us in the entire football game, from minute 1 to minute 90, Leeds owned both halves. There was no point in time where I could have seen a breakthrough coming. Because, yeah, Leeds have been playing more football than us, and that could be to their advantage where they've built some sort of rhythm and chemistry, and lo and behold, it showed today. The last time we played football was 3 weeks ago, and the way we look today is almost like we forgot how to play football. We forgot. It's almost like the guys went on vacation, and then they came back 2 days ago. All right, guys, back to work, and they've totally forgot what Carrick taught them 2-3 months ago. That's how it seemed. That today, if that was a preseason match, I wouldn't have been upset, and I would have been surprised. I'd be like, okay, well, the guys not coming back from vacation. They're now looking to get the footing together and what's not. But we got 6 or 7 more games to go to qualify for Champions League. That first half was atrocious. It was disrespectful. It was disgraceful. Up to now, we could have put like 3 or 4 passes together. Our midfield needs a total revamp. I don't want to hear nothing about no striker and, well, don't get me wrong. There are parts of the field there are positions in our front, center, and back that we do need, but our midfield needs a total overhaul.
Priority.
Yeah, I want about 3 midfielders in and 3 midfielders out. That's what I'm thinking. And then we could focus on the back line because, in my opinion, I think Dalot needs to go. Mazraoui does not look interested anymore. De Ligt, I do not know where he is.
I think that's a half statement.
Mazraoui don't look interested anymore. He doesn't.
No, but you see, my thing is, I was seeing people, on socials with the comparison between Mazraoui and Dalot, right? And the thing about it is Dalot playing all the time, so he have enough games to play crap and then play better to make you feel he better. And then Mazraoui playing 1 game, and then people are ready to talk about Dalot. When last Mazraoui played a game?
I ain't talking about Dalot, big man. Dalot needs to go in the summer. Mazraoui just doesn't look interested. I'm not saying sell Mazraoui. I'm just saying that. Let me tell you who I think needs to go. Now you can disagree or agree. Dalot, bun Dalot. Oh, Luke Shaw, bun Luke Shaw. De Ligt, I don't know. I'm literally on the fence with De Ligt. Lisandro Martinez, I'm starting to get on the fence with Lisandro Martinez because he's either not available or he does some stupidness and then he gets sent off, right? But more on the side of he's not available due to this injury. And the best ability is availability.
I don't know, I don't agree with that, right? But anyway.
Right? Ugarte, Bunyu. Oh, Benjamin Sesko and Amad Diallo cannot be starting for us next season. If they want to be starting for us next season, go in the gym. You got about 2 to 3 months because I don't think Ivory Coast going World Cup and Slovenia. I don't think Slovenia going World Cup. So you men, 3 weeks vacation like a government worker in the Caribbean and then back in the gym training. 3 weeks. I don't mean 3 weeks as in 21 days. I'm talking about 15 business days and then back in the gym. You guys need to get stronger for this league called the English Premier League. Okay? Casemiro, we already know is going. A lot of people don't want to come to the realization, but if we sign the right midfielders next season, Kobe Manu will be on the bench. Think about it.
Phil, you're trying to push for a response, or what are you
You
doing?
can rile up.
Yeah,
But
what
Ivory
are you
Coast-
doing? What are you doing?
I think Ivory Coast in the World Cup. Ivory Coast in the World
Of
Cup.
course, going World Cup.
Yeah.
I think it's
Sure.
Cameroon. I think it's Cameroon who
It's
not
Cameroon
it out,
not going
see.
to World Cup, right?
Check it
I know
out.
they got 10. They got 10 African teams. They got 10 African teams for the first time going to World Cup. So anyway, if it's Ivory Coast, then all right, fair enough. Well, the Amad Diallo that we saw for Ivory Coast in the internationals, that's the Amad Diallo that they want back, right? But back to my original point with regards to Kobe Manu. If we sign the right midfielders, Kobe Manu will be holding the bench position. Think about it. I don't want Kobe Manu.
Highly doubt it.
You highly doubt it. All right, no problem.
Highly
No,
doubt
but Phil,
Let me say we sign Sandro Tonali and we sign either Wharton or the
Anderson.
guy that we was our Anderson, Elliot Anderson. Where could Manu gonna start?
No, but I think I'd made a
I
point, one of the pods ago, right? And the thing about it is, I don't have an issue with Kobe not starting every game, and I don't have a problem with that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Because and I drew reference to PSG. It's at the game when they play Chelsea. Cavara didn't start, and then Cavara come on and score 2 goals. So the thing about it is, I don't have an issue, in principle with Kobe not being the be-it and end-all of Manchester United, but a very important player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
let's bring in Tonali, let's bring in X, Y, and Z, and let us have good, healthy competition in the team. And it's on the manager now
I am all for
to
that.
rotate the team properly. And I want to get to this point now, right? Of which I don't think Carrick is doing a good job. Right?
Oh boy.
No, because I'll tell you something. Every people outside of Carrick prefer the 11. It have no plan B. Carrick don't know what to do. You understand?
Thank you.
I have a serious problem with that.
A lot of y'all ain't want to admit it, but under Michael Carrick, we only had about 4 or 5 games that were really good. Only 4 or 5 games that were really good. Think about it.
And when I look into some of the reasons why things didn't work out for him at Middlesbrough, yes, he did plenty good things. Don't get me wrong, I ain't getting there. But the point is, what a lot of fans were saying and what a lot of reports were saying is that outside of his plan A, he had nothing. He stuck to his starting 11, and he rarely changed or rotated. You understand? Go through.
I'm so glad you brought that. You brought receipts for that, because that is, that's what we're seeing. To start the day off, before the game start, you see you got any team. Now, anybody who has watched us play this season know a customary Ugarte midfield means pressure get that ball to midfield. And that man look at this game and say, you know what? I'm going to stick to what I was doing. I'm just going to put Ugarte in there and try and do the same thing I did with Manu. And how that gonna work? And you see it not working, and you ain't do nothing. You even try. The team was outplayed. From minute 1, you outplayed, and you just stand up there walking around. With no emotion, just doing nothing, watching them men get embarrassed and skin on hold. Nah, do something. You have. I know you don't have. We don't have a midfielder. We complain about this since the winter break. No midfield cut came in. But do something. Change formation. You have Xerxes in there who could play. You need somebody further back. We have issues with Bruno playing midfield, but this game was a game where you need somebody back there to try. Because we had nobody. Ugarte wasn't really doing much. Defensively, maybe a little bit, but the ball wasn't moving to the center.
Every time Ugarte get the ball in the first half, he gave it away.
Bruno can't help you. Yeah, Bruno
Yeah,
can
to me,
help moving up the ball.
the only time Ugarte started to look half decent was when the game went
Gone.
into where he is thriving, chaos. You know, we throwing everything forward and Leeds playing on the counter and he get to run about and because he had legs. That is when Ugarte started to look a little decent, you know. But when you put a ball on Ugarte foot and you say, well, hey, you know, make something happen. And Simeone make a real good point there because when Kobe there, Kobe will give you some ball retention, he'll give you some little intelligence, he'll give you some ball progression a little bit. So you know you could even try to build the ball from the back. But even Casemiro's getting caught out because Casemiro don't have the legs. Right? And to take pressure off Casemiro, you have to have a next ball player next to him. You can have Ugarte who can hold on to the ball. And every time Ugarte get the ball in the first half, he gave it away. So and I was making the point to you all that Carrick had to be a little more inventive, right? All right, we know Bruno thriving the most as the 10, but look at the role and function of Kobe Mino that had your midfield ticking. Bruno may be the closest to get that. Drop Bruno deeper now because and he was playing deep and he was playing like a quarterback this evening. So drop him deep. You understand? Probably play Cunha behind Sesko. You understand? Or even Xerxes play him there because you need somebody to hold on to the football. Sesko was getting bullied today, nothing stick on Sesko foot. Why it is we just going and selecting teams based on who popular or who probably cost the most money or who is favorites? Why we not looking at the team and seeing the qualities and trying something different in situations where you do have certain players available? And I don't get it. I don't get and all I've been honest here, I want to jump out here, but Carrick. Nico, you're on mute.
Yeah, I think honestly what working against the team is the limited minutes on the pitch. Anybody who play football for a little bit would realize how much of a difference games are under your belt and minutes are on the pitch in a real game where the adrenaline different, the intensity different, the thinking, the sharpness of the mind does be different. I think that split second difference it does get with games. I think that's very, very, very important. And I think no way you can get that on a training pitch. So we might say the team, was resting for 3 weeks, and maybe what we did in that 3 weeks, but there is nothing that could compare with a real game. And I think we saw that today. I think to me, that is what affected us the most. That rustiness, as much as some players might have an international duty and all that, I think for me the most, like the intensity in our play is what caught us out today. And I don't think we should take that for granted at all. And if, I guess, maybe for future sake, if it is we have these long breaks in between, we should see if we could get some type of, again, it might still be like a friendly, but some type of competitive games within these windows to try to keep the players sharp, because today to me was a lot of lacking of sharpness from the players in comparison to Leeds.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I've seen us have these same conversations with one game a week. And other teams playing one game a week and we see an intensity, we see in sharpness. So, yes, I hear what you're saying, but I feel something inherently wrong with us. I don't know. I mean, because when we play 3 games a week, we say there's too much football. Then 1 game a week is too little bit. Go ahead, Simeon.
I mean, Nico ain't wrong, but at the same time, we, you expect better, expect more from his team. I mean, that's not good enough. I mean, that excuse. I mean, you're right. I mean, yeah, if you're not sharp, but it's the job of the manager, the team to get the fellas ready. I saw like the fellas was not, it wasn't ready. It didn't look like they knew it was time to be ready. It's like there was a complacency. That's the word I'm looking for. A complacency with his team, where they realized, oh, this team is playing better than me, but I don't have to match that. Yeah, then fellas have space, but I ain't got to cool it down as fast as possible. I feel that fellas didn't get out and like God nobody. I feel like they felt like I don't have to be at level now in this 5 minutes or in 10 minutes. I can just wait until I feel until my we get going and we come back away with win this game. I feel like they first take for granted that Leeds wasn't going to score 2-3 goals in them in the first half. They wanted to work their way into the game instead of actually try and match Leeds. Try and get some kind of. I feel like a lot of complacency in this team today, and it showed early, and they paid for it. And I think it's a shame that we didn't really start playing football until we were down to down to 10 men, and that's just not good enough. I mean, I accept that. I mean, my sharpness is one thing, but you playing. I mean, Leeds at home, a chance to go to the Champions League. You had all this. At least you must have adrenaline. It's like it's one thing to have adrenaline and you make a mistake here or there, but to have nothing, not even adrenaline for the game. I feel like something was more than just match fitness that was lacking. There was a drive that was missing for this team. And you could say uncertainty and stuff, but still, the amount of space they were getting, in this game, Leeds was getting, it was hard to watch, and the point, I don't know if who made it before, but the back three, like, what team, what the plays are gonna be with this team. You should have an idea of what you're gonna see. I feel like they were unprepared to deal with. I feel like Carrick like you keep saying, have an idea of how his team should be, and don't really pay attention to what the other teams do. And I feel like the other teams have an idea of what we want to do, and they have a better way of stopping it. Stopping what we want to do. I mean, all the true passes and stuff that Bruno, we try to play a lot. I mean, some got through, but a lot of them, were blocked off and were turnovers to the part where it was going back the other way. I feel like Leeds had a better game plan in how to deal with our system than we did theirs.
Yeah. We just got some comments real quick and then we will continue, guys. Right. Christopher on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying very strange that in consecutive matches, our two senior centre backs getting red. Right. Jerome on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Good evening to you. All right. Disgraceful first half. What have we been doing for almost 4 weeks? Did they even train? Right? There was posting videos in Ireland, all kind of thing. Thought they was going to play head volleyball, foot volleyball, what you call it. Almost Martinez too stupid. All right. We talk about that, bro. All right. Eric on the inside, thanks for joining. He's saying Sesko should remain an impact sub. For me, he is not contributing enough in the build-up play, especially with the current midfield. I fully agree with this. But everybody wants Sesko to start because he scored 2 goals. All right, but the man have a very, very good impact when he comes off the bench. All right, last pod I did say that. I say yes, Mbumo is doing well. Yes, Ahmad is showing his levels. But it has something that the fellas contributing to the way we just play and how we just build up the football. You understand that we can't take for granted. And then Sesko come in, he having an impact and he's scoring. Why are we changing it for? Jerome saying here finally no Meno. So what was the strategy? Ask Ugarte to play like exactly, and that's what we were saying. There didn't seem to be an adaptation to the absence of him and Maguire. We just tried to play the same way with different players. Exactly. And the thing about it, we have so much different players that could help us play a different way, right? Anyway, also Maswari been out in the cold too long. He didn't look good, but I feel it is because he hasn't played properly in months. Shaw was also crap. Shaw been crap for quite some time. All right, to be fair, everyone was crap except hey, Ali Lamens pull off some big saves today, boy. Lamens was immense. All right, and Cass in their box. Well, Cass is always a big threat in the opponent's box, you know. We may have been rusty, but rust doesn't excuse lack of energy. And I think that's the point Simeon was making. Rust might need bad passes, short, etc., but the lack of energy is not rust. All right. We play with a 6'5" forward and probably cross about 4 times. What was the plan? Why the wingers not crossing early? I think too. I mean, and Phil made the point that they were playing with about 3 centre backs. You don't want to just, I mean, do you just want to cross in the ball for crossing its sake? You know, because, I mean, it was getting cut out. Plenty of crosses was getting cut out. Right? We did cross a lot, I think. Right?
Well, if that just striker strength as well, then it's a weapon, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right?
But I mean, you want to put a cross in the box with rather than hit and hope. I don't know if you understand what I mean. You don't want to just cross and again cut out. Plenty crosses get cut out in, and plenty of them reach school.
Well, I mean,
crossing the ball.
To your point in the first half, I mean, many of our attacks were just trying through balls, you know.
Yeah, because we wasn't even in their box. We didn't even reach their box.
Exactly. So yeah, we didn't get to that part yet.
Why no early subs after half time? Right? It's when we make the subs with 10 men, we start to do something.
Why
right?
indeed?
Yeah. Surin Chetu on the inside, thanks for joining. He's saying Carrick starting to look like Ruben. Right? Selection process again, and Bomo should be starting for me every game. I'm not a fan of Ugarte out the door for me, guys. I don't know, but Lissandro could have gotten a yellow card. Yeah, at least. You know, that red card was crazy. Christopher saying here, a short Martinez and a weak Euro versus physical forward like Calvert-Lewin was always going to be a disaster. Licha could have played in the mid with Cass and Maswari and Heaven as centre-backs maybe would have worked better. Leeds constantly targeted Euro. But I think Euro grew in the game and he was much better in the second half. But point taken. Right, Jerome said here, Sesko still best as sub, it seems. He was not good except for one shot. What shot that was? The one where Darlow saved?
No, the one that the cross field ball to Sesko. Sesko beat one man, and I tell myself, well, there's a goal now.
The one from Ahmad? Nah, that is not a good shot. That was a waste.
It's a shit shot, I know, it's a shit shot.
No, but Jerome saying here, he was not good except one shot.
Like he could drive without one shot.
No, it's a one when he went through.
When he beat the man, I said, all right, cool, goal, and boom, nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
We should have had at least one friendly at that time. I think Nick was making this point, or a match behind closed doors, knowing we had 24 days off, we should have prepared for it. Yeah, I think so. We waste that time with training and carry them go learn. Surin saying here, we have to win against Chelsea and we still have Liverpool to play. Leeds was a must-win game to ease the pressure on us. Exactly. All right? Things could go south real fast now. Yeah? Right? We have a thin squad and the manager do not know how to use the rest of his players.
Exactly.
Right? Jerome saying here, for Leeds, this one is one of their biggest rivals and vice versa. Did our players know this? It was derby basically versus dirty Leeds. And they had the energy and we didn't. It could have been 5-0 at halftime. Yeah.
No, I mean the third point is like they always give all these stats before the game or during the game, and you're like, yeah, that's why we're gonna, like I said, Leeds wasn't scoring goals before this. Leeds wasn't a big, goal scoring team. And they could score how many goals in that first half? I mean, I see why Calvert-Lewin. I see why no big teams really want him, because I'm gonna get all kind of position to score, and he be finding keeper wherever the keeper is. I mean, Lamens makes some good saves, but he find Lamens like 2-3 times right in front of the goal. I was like, you're glad he didn't score, but he getting some real good positions to not score.
Yeah.
You look at Sesko. I mean, he need if you're gonna be our striker, you gotta you gotta do better.
Yeah.
You gotta have you need to do better. But
No, let me just get curious in the comments, right, guys? So Eric saying here, Carrick may just be a short-term fix. I'm not convinced yet he should get the job. Newcastle away today and West Ham, we are seeing his inability to make proper adjustments and the naivety. All right. Jerome saying here, like the players just see Leeds are 15th and decided to put out 15% energy. All right. Surin saying here, is Mason Mount just warming bench? Well, he and Xerxes and who again? Heaven.
how them didn't play?
Yeah. Christopher saying here, at this point, can we give a verdict on Carrick's eligibility for the job? Yeah, I'm not convinced. All right. Phil, Nico, Simeon.
Yeah, they wait till the end of the season. It could have blips. There's a blips in seasons. I wait until the end of the season.
Yeah, but Nico, there's always talk and it just take long, boy. You take a whole season with Onana, eh? You take a whole season with Onana, eh?
Similar with oh gosh, were you injured?
Who, Dogu?
Dogu, right? Dogu started come good, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Phil, what you saying?
Good point.
All right. So there you have it, Christopher. All right. Jerome saying yes, Simeon correct. Leeds had a plan for how we've been playing. We didn't seem to know what they would do. All right. Sesko had a shot with his left that was saved at point blank. I know it had one where he cut in from the left, but he was on his right foot and he shoot on the keeper came out and save it. I know that one. I can't remember this one you're talking about. All right. The Lol Eleb, I hope I pronounced that right. Thanks for joining. So the refs did us dirty on Bournemouth's game. So we take action just for them to even increase the dose. Yeah. First goal should have never stood. And if that's what I read, we should stop watching football. Yeah, well said. Spot on. Yeah.
Well said.
So, guys, let me look to wrap it. Right? We did cover a lot, and even if we didn't discuss it, the comment section mentioned. So, any positives from today? Any positives that we could take away from today?
Goal difference wasn't that bad.
Yeah, we still have a plus 11 or plus 12. Plus 12.
Yeah, I think the only positive is for us to see if Carrick could pull the team out of the doldrums. At least that will improve, I guess, his confidence or the fans' confidence or even the upper management confidence, and if he could, take this team forward. I think for me, that was a positive.
So the positive was that you see that he could do it?
No, to see if he can do it.
Oh, okay.
Because it could have been going down the road hunky dory and we go in and we win in and then we give him the job. Right. And next season we end up in this position and realize with time he do have the ability to pull the team up when we down now.
Right. I get you. Phil?
There were no positives from the team per se, but I mean, if I had a nitpick, I mean, Bruno is 1 assist closer to the record. Other than that, no other positives, right? 17 assists for Bruno. I think he has to beat 21? It's 21 or 24?
I really don't know.
Exactly.
I'm not following that record.
Exactly. That's the if I had a nitpick, that's the only positive. Right? So, and I mean, just to add on to what Nico said, I'm curious as to the starting 11 Carrick is going to feel versus Chelsea. I'm quite curious. So,
For me, the positive was Lamens. I think Lamens did excellently well today, and he convinced me. You know, I had my little concerns, but the youth man, you know, his reflexives, he coming up big first. You know, and it's a joy to know that you have some confidence at the back. You know, I think the goals that we considered was the defense that let him down, because every time he was called upon, he bailed we out, you know. And that way where goalkeeper do. I remember he used to bail we out, and that would have helped us or gave us the platform to go and win the game. He did his job, but the rest of the team, as Jerome said, 15%, you know. Last two comments before we wrap it. Jerome saying here, Calvert-Lewin really get away with elbows. Yeah, that's the VAR and them referees and them come out for me today, right? The only positive is Bruno's assist, right? So we have people following Bruno journey to that record, right? Anyway, so guys, that brings us to the end of the pod. Again, after a 24-week break to come back and
It really felt like a 24-week.
yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
And
24 days. 24 days. Yeah. You know, to come back and really, gosh, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah. I mean, a win today would have just be the cherry on top of the cake after a real good round of results in this match week. And, you know, we blew it. We blew it. But again, as Nico said, let me see how Carrick reacts, how the team reacts against Chelsea, which I think will be a very, very big game. Chelsea had to make amends in front of the home fans after that demolition against City. So let me see, and we know it have the Argentinian who will have something to prove. You know, so
Yes.
Let's hope that Maguire is back. Let's hope that we able to get a red card overturned, which I think we could get overturned. And let's hope Kobe is back, because every time them say it's a minor injury, get frightened. You understand? So that is where it is. That is where it is. So Nico, Phil, Simeon, thanks guys for coming on the pod. Those in the comments. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the shares. You know, let's keep getting the content out there, you know, so that people will know about All in All United, right? I've been told that not much people know of our existence. So, guys, let me share it up, right? Let me tell people about All in All United. People need a little therapy too, you know? So, yeah, so have a good night, everybody, and see you all on the next one.
Hey, good night.